Hey everybody, Chuck Beaver here. I'm going to be doing a dev commentary playthrough on Dead Space 2. Let's go. Alright, let's go see where we left off. I think it was Chapter 6. Chapter 6, officially.
Isaac! Isaac, are you there? Can you hear me?
What do you want, Strauss? Look, it's over. All my plans just blew out the window.
No, it's not over. At least not yet. Isaac, we build it. We can tear it down.
What, you mean the marker? Do you know where the marker is, Strauss?
It's in the government sector. But we have to move now. Now. Because time is running out for me and for us.
Strauss! Strauss, where you going? Shit.
Alright, I guess I gotta get to the government sector. Where's my locator gonna take me? So Strauss takes over a little bit as now the motivating factor. This was something I think Ben and I struggled with quite a bit in the plotting of Dead Space 2, is that essentially, if you compare it to Aliens and Ripley, she is all set up at the beginning of Aliens as struggling with the aftermath of Aliens 1. And her life is unlivable. She's having nightmares because of it. So she accepts the call, answers the call. You know, narratively speaking, there's refuse the call in the beginning and then you answer it later, finally, to get into Act 2. And she answers the call because she can't live, her life is unlivable and something has to change. So she's in an unsustainable status quo. And when she does accept the call, she's like, I'm going to go kill him. That's the only way I'm going to be able to, like, deal with my trauma, my PTSD, is to face it head on. And that generates and runs the whole movie from Act 1. In Dead Space 2, we are in a little bit of a different space. We have been running on a Maslow's hierarchy promotion or motivation since the beginning. Survive. I'm going to die. Get to... I'm going to save again really quick. Get to Dana, who will save us. And then when that doesn't work, I mean, my goal is still survive, but that's not a real plot goal. That certainly ran all of Aliens 1, right? Survive the alien. Like, it doesn't, there's nothing more cerebral happening than that. But that lasts the whole movie. In Dead Space 2, for Isaac to survive, there's no clear alternate path that we've established. Like, what's he going to do? He doesn't have Dana. He's got gunships trying to shoot him. No, he doesn't know how to get the marker signal to stop replicating in his head. None of that's even available as an option. So it was a really rough transition here to get us onto the rest of the story because we had not set up the story to transition cleanly out of, you know, different means to the same end. So, you know, when you're writing story, what you basically do is the protagonist always has the same end goal, but he keeps having to change his means because his plan A fails and then plan B fails, and he's falling into this crazy dastardly plan C to get what he thinks he wants at the end. And when you start off with a survival motivator, it doesn't quite work that cleanly because it has to either stay survival or you have to switch out to some other, I'm trying to figure out where to go, switch out to some other goal that the protagonist has set up. So in Aliens 2, they set up Ripley to, like, deal with her PTSD by shooting all the aliens in the head. Go help the government do that. And then she gets additional goals when she meets Newt as motherhood takes over, right?
They were afraid of us after the sessions. I remember. They took us to the machine for our sessions, for the steps.
I don't remember any sessions.
You're lucky you don't remember. When you do, he starts coming back.
Who? Who comes back? Who?
Look at you. You've grown up so much. Where are you going?
Strauss, don't follow. He's not really there.
That's good. I love Strauss' character. And so, all I'm saying is, like, we're trying to transition now out of what would have been just survival, you know, survival horror movie, survive, get out of the horror place, into a little bit more motivated of a story, right, that has a different goal for the protagonist. And so now it's kind of there. Strauss gave him a lead that says, hey, if we built it, we can destroy it. Presumably that is what's going to be your next breadcrumb of survival. Is, I guess I got to destroy this marker that I built. And then maybe that will stop the replicating signal.
All surviving squads are ordered to fall back. Repeat, fall back from the sector. Operation Endgame is in effect. Contingencies are in place for our lost assets. Titan.
That was also hard to do, is to get a rig, getting a video log to play off an NPC. The code did not support that. It only plays off of the Isaac rig, so this was a whole big deal to get that to actually work. And the team did it. Oh, another save point. Let's do it. So we're sort of gradually building now the next motivating goal, the next goal for the protagonist. Like, what does he want? He wants to survive. And I guess following Strauss to figure out how to destroy the marker is it. It's pretty loose. It's not my favorite thing. I would have done... I mean, it was fun. I know Brett was really enjoying that we had the betrayal of the unitologist. Oh, God, I've walked into here. You know, yet another girl betrays us. We were a little worried about that. And that was a fun bit there. But I think, narratively speaking, I think it challenged the story to make sense for the protagonist's clear path going forward from there. But we made it work. We get where we're going. I think we'll just say it's a little video gamey is where it ends up. Ah! And I know that actually Brett enjoyed the sort of more episodic version of the way events might roll out. Like you would have a chapter and then... Oh gosh, leapers are so problematic. Bitch. And I was more of a continuity guy. I wanted the whole story to be a unit and not be necessarily just individualized to chapters. I did want them to be more causally matched up. This is a bitch of a setup. These leapers in this space is like not bueno. You gotta tease him out. Oh, and I missed him. I got him. And now that I'm 12, 13 years on, I know more about narrative theory than I did at the time. So I can make a more cogent argument for what I would like to see done. But I was struggling with it while we were making it to make it clear. Like the whys and what fors of it all. And then, in the second half of the Dead Space 2 life, when Ben and I had to take over for the creative, this problem sat on Ben and I. And we were like, okay, well, we were far too far into Dead Space 2, sorry. Finished collecting things. Dev cycle, like this was all built. Like we already had a lot of this stuff done a year in, a lot of the levels were built. And because we only had like a year to go, a year and a half. And so there wasn't a lot of change that could be done. So we had to suture it all back together, the flow, as best we could manage. And I think we did make it sort of work. And Brett might have even had this in the original flow. Oh, another one of you? With the Strauss setup? I can't remember how much he had laid out before he departed of that first year. But I do remember sitting with Ben and having to like figure out, okay, you crash back through the window, now Strauss calls you, and now we're all into Act 2. I'm pretty sure Act 1 had been mapped out up to finding Dana, right? Which is that Act 1? That's arguably an Act 2 state. And then I think after that it was a little fuzzy, and then like, Brett didn't have a chance to finish writing whatever I think he had thought for the rest of the game. I think. It wasn't as clear. Oh yeah, we got these guys. They're so funny. So all that having been said, we ended up having to sort of do this challenging switch from the motivation of Maslow's survival to a different goal. And so far it still survives, as far as we know. Like, why would Isaac not just find a ship and run off the station? Just leave. Like, what personal stakes does he have in staying here? You know what I mean? And Like, why would he want to sit and keep risking his own life for the station? You know, to survive at this point is to just maybe get away from the marker, although we haven't made that clear. His arms are not where I can hit them. So you're not... Whoa! Oh, I got farted on by a thing. So you're not entirely sure what my plan should be. I guess destroy the marker, but you're not sure how that serves any goals. I'm just showing you guys the difficulty we were having at this point to make it all kind of flow. I think we pull it together. It works in the end. You bastard. But these are the challenges of writing for video games. It's quite challenging. Okay. How's my health? Do I have enough? No. Okay. Node room. No one's going to spend money on the node room. All right, let's do the bench really quick. I think we may have collected some nodes. Look at the fun health. The rig, though. Like, the first one, it was much simpler. And Ian and the team had sort of said, like, well, what's the better version of it next? So they had these cool, like, sort of triangular interlocking pieces that were holograms inside the rig. I think that works really well. It's very effective. All right, let's keep going. So I'm in 0G now. Doop, 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 doop.
Warning. Fire suppression system malfunction. Please manually deplete the oxygen supply to contain the fire. Non-essential personnel should leave the area at once.
So we have to basically power up with 0G. I have to grab a battery. Float around, looking for... Oh, I gotta pull this off.
Oxygen output falling to 93%. This area is now burning by support buildings. Please verify your personal oxygen supplies.
And we gotta pull this out, and then we'll turn out the fire.
Life support failure. Oxygen output is 0. This area is unsafe for habitation. Personal oxygen supplies are now required.
Of course, I'm probably gonna get attacked. How to get through here. So we put out the fire, we move on. It's a really good puzzle. I like the heck out of this. This was up. I see you. And then you're under an oxygen timer as well. Okay, that was a fun little spot. It's a really good use of everything. Like, turn off the oxygen to put out the fire, put you in a 0G space, which then translates to oxygen.
Power malfunction. Please replace the power unit to use the elevator.
Now you're like, okay, so now I gotta find the power unit. Oh, didn't I just do some batteries outside? Okay. Now that I've recharged my oxygen, I'll run back out there and grab one of those batteries. Assuming I've killed everybody. Doom, 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 doom. Come here, batteries. The remake was great because they just lifted all of this directly, right? As far as the flying goes. Took a lot of work to figure that out, that's for sure. And I'm gonna go through here, put this in. Great. We get our oxygen back and our gravity back, and we're on to the next section. Ba-doo! Good stuff. Fun puzzle. I think we struggled with people in the focus tests finding that third element up top, even though there was a... Oh, God. Stop puking into my neck, you bitch. And I rip his head off. And I still gotta shoot him. Bastard. Okay, here we go. Oh, my thing's full. Okay. All right, let's see where this is taking us.
The steps. He wants me to follow the steps. Step 1, crawl into the dark machine.
Strauss, calm down. He can't hurt you.
He wants me to go into the dark machine, Isaac. I can't go. She's in there. She's waiting for me.
Strauss!
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Strauss, listen to me. You need to keep moving. Can you get to the train? Can you do that?
He's coming. Can't talk.
So here's where this was a challenge. I was trying to introduce the steps. Step 1, crawl into the dark machine. The screws go tight all around will be step 2. And step 3 is stick a needle in your eye, cross your heart and hope to die, which is getting the machine. And here's where things start to go a little bit sideways in the planning of the plotting. So up to this point, we didn't have a boss fight at the end of Dead Space 2. And I had in my head that the ghosts, like Nicole and Strauss's child, were trying to help us defeat the marker. That was the thing. That was like the ghosts were like maybe a white blood cell response. To the infection, the necromorph infection on the human race. And so they were actually trying to give you the tools to go and defeat the marker and stop the necromorph infection and convergence and all those things. Oh, I'm going to save a new one here because I think we got a chapter 6 back there. That's where Ben and I did not, in the end, ultimately see eye to eye on that. He thought they were just evil all the way through. Anything that had to do with the markers, including the visions and the ghosts and all that, it was all just of a piece. They were all just bad and evil, and there was not any good associated with the marker effects at all. I'm a little more hopeful as a person, a little more optimistic. And so Ben was good with the darkness. He was like, no, it's just dark. And so when the time came to put in the end boss, some people that didn't know what the story was recommended, well, can it just be Nicole? And I think Ben was all right with that as well because it sort of fit more with his version of, yeah, they're evil. But all this time, when I was writing some of this stuff, we'd been plotting to set up that you weren't quite sure what the motivations of the ghosts were, but they might be seen as helpful. And so the reason Strauss' child is telling him, steps, he's telling me to take the steps, get into the marker, get into the chamber. Basically, when you get the needle in your eye, it will enable you to destroy the marker. And that was their helping you, right? That was how they were helping you. And I'll remember all this as we go through the Dead Space 2, all these things, like me placing those things, and why it was such a shock when it was all turned evil, right? Because it was like, oh wait, no, that's not quite what we've been foreshadowing. It's all vague enough that it sort of still worked anyway as the shipped product, but that was a great setup. I still might have wanted the fun version where I'm going to put these detonator mines out there so I can shoot them later. Oh, let's pick up detonator mines. Where the ghosts were trying to help you. And there's a specific moment coming later in this where I got all emotional because it was building towards that moment, and you and Nicole had sort of not bonded, but there was like an emotional moment. And that didn't quite... The moment stayed, but the context of it changed afterwards. And so if you had felt the same thing I felt at that moment, you were betrayed by the end. I'll point all that out as we get there. What you just heard was me reliving my state of mind from the final weeks of us writing Dead Space 2, when I was absolutely convinced the ending was wrong. So as I've replayed the game now, the breadcrumbs of what we were trying to do have started to make sense again, like coming together in my head. But at the time, I was so exhausted and so brain fried by the end of the development cycle, I just could not make it click. The truth is, Ben and I were on different pages about the motivations of the marker, but there was, and still is, a way for all of what's in this story to make sense within the current lore. I just couldn't find it then. I actually texted Ben about this, and he thinks the epiphany that I had is exactly what we were doing all along, because he's a genius. So I have been carrying this guilt for like 15 or 16 years, believing the ending was all broken, and in replaying it now, I have finally put all the pieces together. And I've resolved one of the biggest pain points in my memory about this game's narrative. I'll unpack the full epiphany in a later episode and flag back to this point, but I wanted to drop this in here because it matters. This misunderstanding shaped how I saw the whole story, and now it's resolved. So remember this moment, and we'll catch up with it in a later episode. All right, got to go through this space. I have the feeling we're probably into chapter 7 now, so this might be a double episode. Hey. You know, this is going to be a stalker area. So... But at this point, we're trying to build the steps, like figure out what's going on. Again, we're kind of constructing a whole new story because Isaac's survival with Dana is off, and now we have to go into the next thing. I think that would have been more of a... If we were doing this kind of episodically, where the chapters were not as related and you were just kind of getting through events on this Ishimura, would work. But I think it wants to be more... I want it to be more unitary. I want the whole thing to be a single story. Alright, so for better or worse, we're past our survival arc and we're trying to put together the next plot, which is do what with what, and something about steps and Strauss, right? That's what we're trying to figure out. The problem is there wasn't an easy fix for this. Like, the Dana stuff was already built, and she dies. So you don't have much of a choice. Like, she's gone, and there's not going to be... There's no real way to, like... You have to rewrite the whole thing, like, significantly to make that change happen, where she isn't killed at that moment and taken out of the story. And she either persists as an antagonist or a support. Like, she maintains in the story, which is what I would have done would have that not dissolve. And she would have been a continuing character, right? And her plans were either frustrated or something was happening. She was also going through her typical arcs, trying to get what she wanted done, running into obstacles and having to change her methods as well. Okay. Give me a second. Let me switch back out to my plasma cutter.
Isaac, he's gone. Listen, the steps can destroy the marker. Step 1, crawl into the dark machine. Step 2, the screws go tight all around.
I don't understand.
Oh, God, he's back. No.
All right, so that's me trying to build the plot after the Dana motivation has ended to go to her to survive. Now you have to figure out some mystery about steps and to destroy the marker. So at least the goal is clear, destroy the marker. Seems like that will help end the marker signal in your head, although we don't make that connection quite clear. You should somehow infer that. And here's one of the funnest parts of the game. All right, we got a little bit of fighting to do ourselves. This was fun to figure out and set up.
Yeah, come on, you like this.
There is so much to figure out here. Like, do you think that you're supposed to be helping her? You can, but she's basically fighting an endless spawn of necromorphs for this looping setup. If you know Sunita.
Come on, you motherfuckers!
So good. I remember her like yelling this into the microphone.
I'm still standing!
She's a really good person for this character because she's like, that's kind of her. She's like a strong-willed woman and she's super fun. She would literally be yelling that if that was her. She was like, I think when she saw the script, she was like, what am I saying? Come on, motherfuckers, piece of shit. Because she hadn't maybe done much of it yet. So this was hard to coordinate.
Hey!
She shoots you. The spawn finally ends.
You want to talk? You talk from there.
Say you're gonna help.
One of our famous
Who said that tried to kill me?
live rig shows, double rig. She's talking, as you can see.
You got that right. You try it, and you're dead.
I put pigtails on her. That's always hard. Our engine's physics wasn't really great for that. So here's a fun thing that I'd seen Ian giving a presentation about the art of Dead Space, and for some reason he was slagging on this setup that I think I had helped design about why he hated this. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the rest of it, but somehow this is bad. I don't know. I thought this was logical and makes sense. You've got to funnel Isaac into these points where you have to grab the camera. I'd be interested in what Ian thought was better.
I'm Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
Ellie. What do you want, Isaac?
I'm trying to get to the transport hub. I need to get to the government sector.
So Isaac seems to know where he's going.
What do you think we were trying to do?
Hey, I can help you. Besides, we got a better chance if we stick together. Don't you agree?
It's not a chance, Isaac.
Look at the
Other
pigtails.
people are just a liability.
They're not sure where to go.
I'll release the door lock. But after that, you're on your own.
They do okay.
Please, don't follow me.
Women's hair at this stage in video gaming was quite challenging to make. If you recall, Dana's hair was like tight little braids and loops, like it wasn't flowing. Hair tech back then, we couldn't afford it. You couldn't afford flowing hair. You could afford a panel of something kind of flapping around. In case you recall, Kendra's longer hair in Dead Space 1 was really awkward in the shuttle. So that's always a thing. So whatever reason, I don't know, I stumped for this setup. I think we had to constantly figure out how to transition from player-controlled cameras and movement into scripted events and scenes with the least jarring transitions possible. So we were always funneling you into doorways and things where we could grab the camera. It was a constant challenge on the whole project because this is a single shot, all of Dead Space. All right. I think you can grab these when they shoot him if you get close enough with TK to trigger it. Otherwise, I'm just going to shoot him. They're kind of one and done bombs, right? I think there's another one. Little dude there. And a save station. All right. Let's change our suits. Let's do the forged engineering suit. Okay, here we go. So Ellie, hi Ellie. She's great. Sunita, the actress, is really great. Gave the character tons of life. Like half of a character appears when the actor or actress manifests them, right? Your script is only on paper. And even the character design is only abstract until they make it live. And then, would we have introduced a major character like Ellie this far into the game? I don't know. To be fair, I don't think Dead Space 2 is really following a traditional act structure. I'm not sure what act we're in. Because of our goal, there's not a singular goal going through, so it's hard to detect where you are on the plan. I mean, your plan is to survive, but like, we're kind of in the second 2/3 of the game? I don't know, it's kind of hard. We were really struggling with this when Ben and I were doing all this writing. We'll talk about that more as we get going. So we're going to go till we find Chapter 7, and then we're going to go from there. All right, where are we going? We got to go through here. Backtracking. Oh, God. Oh, she spits. Oh no, really? What a waste of ammo, all these little guys. And you're still coming for me. Oh, I can handle you guys. Alright, get away from me. We must be later in the game because these guys are tougher than they were in the first part of the game. Oh, reusing level design, classic way to save money. It's a really good way for us to like repeat stuff. It's hard to sometimes dress this where it looks great and the players don't feel like they're being cheated. I hear it. Where is it? The little spitty dude is around here somewhere. Hold on. This is okay. I didn't mind this. I think on the way playing back through... Oh, there you are. Little pustules. And then there's another one. You can hear him. Where is it? There it is. So this got redressed, obviously, like... And the whole combat setup is different, so it actually feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let's keep going on some of the narrative structure stuff. I would have probably done Ellie, since she's a main character, you kind of find her as your adventure moves you along the story, and you pick her up as you go along. Would that have been like an act? I don't know. What act would that have been in? It feels like it would have been more in somewhere in Act 1. Like you would have introduced all the main cast. Certainly a main supporting character would have been in Act 1. But like I said, I don't know what even act we're in. Like the inciting incident was in media res, like, you wake up, run! Like that's kind of the inciting incident. And then everything else from there is like survive. So it's a little bit challenging to see the perfect narrative act structure for this. And like I said, we couldn't change stuff, so we would kind of had to graft on the rest of the story with what we were already done to that point. All right, where is it? I hear it burbling. Oh, hi. This is the vomit hallway. But stuff that I think is working is that Tideman is at least introduced and talked about quite a bit, so he's a presence early. That's always very challenging in video games that are POV, because you can't cut to see the villain, and if you see the villain, why aren't they shooting you or whatever they're supposed to be doing? Like, it's kind of hard to figure all that out. I don't know where this guy is. Do you guys know where it is? There it is. So that at least kind of works. All right, and like I'd said before, the steps and all that were... You heard Strauss... Oh, sorry, there's another one. Oh, this section. This is a fun section. Now we have to go through this nursery. This is, again, Ian had a really good idea, like, what's more creepy than an infected nursery? How about a woman with her last moments and a baby? She's obviously dementia-addled. Rated R, not for everyone. So we kind of go through this setup. At this point, the ghosts are trying to help you, or not, get to the the marker bed so you can get your marker signals to the point in your head where you can be able to destroy it. So we introduced that character. It was the exploding babies. Another exploding. So the lurkers weren't enough. We had to then have exploding babies. Pretty good. So we're going through here, in through the nursery, fun primary colors. Ah! Gotta run away. Ah! I think Ian's girls at this point were also in kindergarten, maybe. So a lot of this was, I think, what he was surrounded with. So he was like channeling his life at the moment. It's a very effective. I think this is one of the better imaginative levels in Dead Space 2, as this creepy nursery with the music kind of going on in the background. At this point, I'm trying to get to the train station so I can get to the government sector and meet Strauss there. We've met Ellie, tried to recruit her to help us. She's like, no, you're a dangerous bad person. And you're like, yeah, I probably am. This is fun about Space Station. I don't know who that picture is of the woman gets playing too rough. I didn't write that one, so I'm not sure who put that in. You know, I didn't write it because it's not full of nerd techno garbage battle. Blech. Look at the little people in here. I love these so much. The little figures of your, you know, compassionate showing kids like, yeah, the cartoon's got a Band-Aid too, and it's got crutches too. So this is the infirmary. All right. Then there's a body in there. Like, not going well. Alright. I need some ammo. I wasted all my ammo. Oof. Alright, we're going to save. I'm going through the creepy nursery. I like all the lockers banging. Good thing for children's things. So I got to keep building the idea that Isaac is suffering from... You know what? I don't have any ammo on this gun, so I'm going to have to change out to... I wanted to go to my one-shot gun. I'm not sure if you guys enjoy that or not. I'll go there for a minute, and then I'll try to collect some plasma cutters later. Probably going to need it anyway for the kids in here. Alright. So Isaac's continuing to lose it. Dementia shows up. Stage play. Look how fun this is. So complete with lockers and everything. Actually, this is a good gun for this. Just a few. So chairs. This is just a perfect school auditorium. Like stacked chairs. You go bleachers. What's behind the bleachers? Probably dead people. Yeah. Tricycle. Free TK rod. Oh, he's got black eyes. These guys are hard. Right? That's the whole point of these guys. This was a very difficult setup if you're playing in normal mode. Of course, I am not. This sounds like Wallace and Gromit. Okay, watch the sun up there. I love this sort of play. Oh no, not yet. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, I gotta go up on the stage. Of course, gotta go up on the stage. So good. This setup is so creepy. It's really, really well done. Oh, a stasis bomb. Num num. Those are fun. Another jump scare of a happy son. Thanks. Get out of here. I'm not going to need that because I'm on easy mode. Oh, we got to hack some stuff. And it ran spawn after that. All right, let's hack. So this is really fun. I think the idea of the child's, school obviously is great. Super creepy. Again, it gives a real diversity to the sprawl, which was the goal. Like I said, the Ishimura was just a mining ship, so everything was sort of mining shippy, and this is a much bigger chance for variety. This moves all of the props down and sets up a big open space for you to get attacked under, and I'm gonna have to go down through it. Ugh. I'm gonna stay here and like blow people away for free. Sorry, I'm doing one shots on this because I don't want to spend all this time dying in combats. The screams are always so crazy scary. Really good. Very shrill. Again, excellent level design, everybody. And so then the curtain goes away for some reason at that point and reveals your exit. We didn't even dress this one with like security alert that weirdly clears when the spawn dies. But it's good. That was a really challenging setup in the real play modes of the game when you're not in casual. As always, hit all the lockers and exit. Where are we going? All right, we're going this way. Are we going back out the way we came in? We might be. Was that where the woman died with her baby? Jump scares, recess is over. Great level. This was really, really good. Very imaginative. Well done. I remember this setup. This was weird. So here we had to put a Nicole thing. And we put a shiny thing over here.
aren't you ready to listen to me?
I'm not listening to this. You may fool Strauss, but I know you're not real.
Oh, you claim I'm not real, and yet here I am.
You were just a hallucination. Strauss knows how to destroy you. He knows how to destroy the marker. We will destroy you.
How convenient. Destroy the marker and all the hurt and pain go away. And after that, Isaac, you'll never have to listen to your heart.
So apparently all the hurt and pain go away means that seeing Nicole means he has unresolved grief issues with her, clearly. And so we're left to wonder here, is that what this is? Is just a haunting? Is he like haunted by his memory of her and it's tormenting him? I'm certain that's what Ben was after, and I think it's very effective and it works. It does make you wonder what the ghosts are up to. And in the end, like, why is she telling you all this? Why is she the voice of your grief? Are you afraid you're going to commit suicide kind of thing?
Isaac and Ellie, I found someone. Another survivor. He says he knows you.
Isaac.
I said, stand still.
Ellie, take it easy. His name is Strauss. I know him.
He looks twitchy. I don't trust him. Don't move.
Ellie, I need him to be not dead. I need him.
Shit. Okay, Isaac. I'll march him to the hub, but if he does anything stupid, anything, I will shoot him.
That's more Sunita than you realize. She's kind of Ellie. So at this point, like, Strauss is acting there that we did. I think we were missing the boat for what Ben wanted. Like I said before, he really wanted Strauss to be much more menacing and less mincing. I think we had Strauss kind of like almost in a state of mental collapse. He was really, really like, just almost not there. I think what Ben wanted was more for Strauss to be like, not even Brad Pitt in Fight Club, which came later, but like, which is goofy. He wanted him to be more like, he might lash out, and you were afraid he was going to lash out and sort of just lose his mind and go berserk. So we needed to have directed more berserk under the surface than like just sort of like, crazy. But here we are. All right, save. And we will stop here and catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody. If you want to learn to talk about narrative the way I do, go check out my web series. The writing wasn't very good. And if you want more Dead Space content, go check out our remake playthroughs at Captain Bribbo.